Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. I am your host, Josh Davis, also known as Crash. Today is Thursday, September 12th, 2024, and I am joined by my good buddy Doug to talk about Week 2 in the NFL. If you're new to the channel, if you would give us a like and then hit subscribe. After you've done those two things, if you would hit the alarm bell, that will let you know when our newest podcast has gone live. And you're new to DFS Coach Talk, if you're new to DFS Coach Talk in general and would like to join us, stay tuned. In just a second, we'll get into how you can do that. So first of all, Doug, how are you doing on this Thursday night? I don't know how it is where you are, but it's awfully rainy and dreary where I am.
It's beautiful, sunny, and 80 degrees out here.
Oh, nice.
It's Wisconsin. It's kind of nice, yeah.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, we've not had rain for a while, so it's kind of nice to have all the rain. But yeah, we're getting a lot of rain right now. So we got Thursday night football obviously coming up here in about an hour. The Bills taking on the Dolphins in Miami, and probably one of the better Thursday night games of the year. I would think they usually have pretty crappy matchups on Thursday nights. It feels like. So this should be one of the better ones. So hopefully everybody will enjoy that. And then we have week 2 to discuss. But before we get to that, like I was saying before, if you are new to DFS Coach Talk, we would love to have you join us. We have memberships that start as low as $4.99 a week. We also have our NFL kickoff special going on right now. So for $79.99, you'll get the rest of the NFL season, the Major League Baseball, rest of that, what's left of that season, the playoffs, the NBA, and of course the whole NFL season, the NFL playoffs. So all the way from now to February, including Doug helps us with PGA. So any sport that we cover from now till February, you're going to get with that NFL special. So you can do it that way, or you can do the $4.99 for a week and check us out, see what you think. But we're a very positive, very family friendly and encouraging community in our Discord. We have had some really nice wins. Last night, our own member Lanny had a real nice win on DraftKings. He won $450, Doug. So that's not too shabby.
It was nice.
Yeah,
I'm very happy for him.
Yeah, that was awesome. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Starting tonight with the Buffalo and Miami game, we've got the inactives list out. No major names on the Bills that I can think of. The big name for the Dolphins is Raheem Mostert's going to be out. So looks like Devon Achane, who is active, and Jeff Wilson will be leading that backfield. And Jalen Wright could get some carries too. So we'll have to look at him as an option in GPPs too. Anyone in particular in this game that you like for the captain?
I didn't even think about that. For what site specifically? It makes a big difference. No, it really doesn't. For me, it's two people. It's Hill and there's a quarterback from Buffalo too.
Okay. Yeah, that's who I'm looking at too. Tyreek in the PPR, DraftKings format, obviously, and then Josh Allen in standard format. Anyone that you would, maybe use as like a sleeper just to try and differentiate yourself from the field. I mean, I'm sure Tyreek and Josh Allen would be extremely high on.
Cook.
James Cook.
Yep.
Okay. I like that call. I think that who was I looking at? Wilson, maybe. I could see Wilson possibly being a sneaky, captain in a GPP. And then Matt Collins, who seems to have a nose for the end zone, feels like, he doesn't catch a lot of passes and stuff like that, but he does seem to find the end zone in a lot of games. And this is playing against, I believe, his former team, right? He was with the Dolphins, I feel like, right?
I don't know that actually.
I think that's right. Let me look this up real quick. I think that's true. I feel like that's true. Yes, he was from 2019 to 2021. He was with.
Was he with Denver too?
No, he was with the Eagles, then the Dolphins, the Raiders, the Falcons last year, and now the Bills. So, yeah.
Yeah, the thing like Joe Wilson that always makes me nervous with him real quick is that he might just get 4 carries tonight.
Yeah.
But then again, he might get 14. We don't know.
Yeah. And then the other thing I was going to say before we get into our game-by-game breakdown, if you are new to this channel or you are not a member in our Discord, I will be giving away a free week's membership. So if you are new, stay tuned, and I will get that to you. You can just send us a DM on Twitter at DFS Coach Talk, Twitter X, whatever you want to call it, or you can email me, jpdavis1982@gmail.com. And we'll make sure to get you in our Discord for the next week. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the Sunday slate. 1:00 Eastern, the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore is an 8.5-point favorite at home, minus 425 on the money line, 41.5 over under. Very small chance of rain at 5%, 80 degrees with the wind blowing east at 7 miles an hour. Then we have the Los Angeles Chargers in Carolina taking on the Panthers. Chargers are a 5.5-point favorite on the road, minus 245 on the money line, 39 over under, 28% chance of rain, 75 degrees, wind blowing east northeast at 9 miles an hour. We have the New Orleans Saints taking on the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys are 6-point favorite at home, minus 275 on the money line, 46.5 over under indoors, so there's no weather concerns. Couple injury updates there. Jake Ferguson and Foster Moreau are both questionable, so we'll keep an eye on that as we go into the Sunday slate. And we have the rematch, another rematch of the playoffs. You know, you had the Rams and the Lions last week, and now we have the Buccaneers and the Lions. So Detroit started out with their two last playoff matchups, so that was pretty interesting. They're not playing San Francisco next week, though. So, but we've got the Lions is a 7.5-point favorite at home, minus 350 on the money line, 51.5 over under. I would imagine that's probably one of the highest on the whole slate. It's got to be. That's a real high over under. Yeah, I'm looking right now. Yep. That is the highest over under on the slate. So it's probably going to be pretty popular from a fantasy standpoint. Jamison Williams is listed as questionable. Just see that. That's interesting. Then we have my Packers taking on the Colts at Lambeau. Josh Downs is questionable, and now Josh Jacobs is listed as questionable. So that's wonderful. If Josh Jacobs and Jordan Love are both out, we have like no chance to win this game. But anyway, the Colts are 2.5-point favorite on the road, minus 145 on the money line, 40.5 over under, 74 degrees, wind blowing southeast at 5 miles an hour. Then we have the Cleveland Browns taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville. The Jaguars are 3-point favorite at home, minus 160 on the money line, 41.5 over under, 83 degrees, wind blowing northeast 11 miles an hour. We have the San Francisco 49ers in Minnesota. The 49ers are -5 favorite on the road, minus 245 on the money line, 46.5 over under. Christian McCaffrey, it sounds like he might actually play. He's listed as questionable. Jawan Jennings is also listed as questionable. And then Jordan Addison is questionable for the Vikings. So you're a Vikings fan.
I'm going to jump in on this.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say.
McCaffrey's playing. Mark it down 100%. McCaffrey's playing.
Okay.
I guarantee it. Two reasons. One, to his teammates after the game said we look forward to having McCaffrey back next week against Minnesota.
Okay.
So, one set on air, one set behind the mic. He's playing. The second thing, Minnesota's Vikings defense, I will say it all year long, is one of the best defenses in the NFL. They have probably the best defensive coordinator, top defense on the top three. They finally got first center now and the needed. And she had probably the best offense going up against the top five.
Yeah.
And but I think Minnesota's too hurt on offense to
beat San Francisco. Yeah, it's going to be tough. You guys don't have TJ Hawkinson back yet either, so that hurts.
No, and their other receiver, the number 2 receiver, is banged up too.
Addison. Yeah.
Yeah, I look for a big game for Naylor, even
Oh, Jalen
yes,
Naylor. Okay. Yeah.
Naylor, big
That
game.
call.
Yep, coming up.
So then we have Seattle taking on New England. Probably one of the biggest surprises in week 1 was that New England was able to beat Cincinnati. But looking at Cincinnati, they've really lost some key pieces on their roster. So after looking at that, I'm not as surprised, I guess. But Seattle comes in as a 3-point favorite on the road, minus 180 on the money line, 38.5 over under, 78 degrees, wind blowing east at 5 miles an hour. Then we have the New York Jets taking on the Titans in Tennessee. The Jets are a 3.5-point favorite on the road, minus 185 on the money line, 41 over under, 28% chance of rain, 78 degrees, 8 miles an hour winds blowing east southeast. Last game on the 1 o'clock Eastern slate, the New York Giants taking on the Washington Commanders. The Commanders are a 1.5-point favorite at home, minus 125 on the money line, 43 over under, 78 degrees, wind blowing east at 7 miles an hour. When we move to the afternoon slate, the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Arizona Cardinals. This is really surprising to me, Doug. The Cardinals are a 1-point favorite, minus 120 on the money line with a 48 over under. Do you feel like they deserve to be a favorite in this game? Because I don't.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, yeah, Arizona played a good game, I guess, against Buffalo, but Buffalo's lost some key pieces too. So I'm not sure how good they are compared to how they've been in the past. I just don't get it. But anyway,
I don't. No,
yeah.
Other than they can't stop the run. No.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The Rams can't stop him.
Yeah. Then we have the Steelers taking on the Broncos in Denver at 4:25 p.m. Eastern. Looks like Justin Fields is going to get another start. The Steelers are a 2.5-point favorite on the road, minus 140 on the money line, 36.5 over under. That's got to be the lowest on this whole slate, I would think.
46 or 36?
36.5. 36.5. That's really low. I'm looking right now. So far, it is. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, it is. It is the lowest total on the slate. 83 degrees with the wind blowing east at 5 miles an hour. We have the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. T. Higgins is questionable for the Bengals. I don't think he's going to play. And then Hollywood Brown is also listed as questionable, but I don't think he's going to play either. The Chiefs are a 5.5-point favorite at home, minus 255 on the money line with a 48 over under, 84 degrees with wind blowing east southeast at 7 miles an hour. We have the Chicago Bears on Sunday night taking on the Houston Texans. The Texans are a 6.5-point favorite at home, minus 300 on the money line, 45.5 over under. Keenan Allen and Roma Doomsday both may not play this game. They both haven't practiced this week so far, so they're both looking very questionable. And then Nico Collins is listed questionable, and Dalton Schultz wasn't able to practice, so he's listed questionable too. So quite a few injuries to keep an eye on going into Sunday night. Then we have the Monday night game, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. The Falcons taking on the Eagles in Philly. The Eagles are 6.5-point favorite at home, minus 305 on the money line, 47 over under, 71 degrees with the wind blowing east at 6 miles an hour. So before we get into our top plays, do you have anything you want to add besides what we already talked about?
A lot of tight end injuries. If it's lower leg, that makes me very concerned that they'll play full games. So keep an eye out for that.
For sure. So we'll look at quarterback, our top plays at quarterback. I think I started it off last week, so why don't you go ahead with your top play at quarterback this week, Doug?
Oh boy. Well, first of all, I'm looking at a blank screen for everybody to know that. So I'm going to do this off the top of my head.
Yeah, Doug's had some technical difficulties. So
we're looking at the top of my head for value. I'd go Jaden Daniels, be top value.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels. Yep, and that's who I have too. So that's kind of a good confirmation there. I think that the pay up options on this slate. maybe Mahomes, that'd probably be the one I'd probably consider. But I just think that, Daniels is in such a good matchup at home against the Giants. We saw what Sam Darnold was able to do, completed his first 12 passes against them. He had 19 of 24 completed, overall. So it's probably one of the better games of Sam Darnold's career. And Daniels was awesome last week. He was playing against Tampa. He did a lot of his damage on the ground. He had 16 carries for 88 yards rushing and 2 rushing touchdowns, but he was the 3rd highest scoring quarterback in fantasy in week 1. And with this matchup at home against the Giants, I think that he's going to be, right in the top of the leaderboard for quarterbacks this week too. So I like Jaden Daniels.
He almost had 100 yards rushing.
Yeah, and his rookie debut and his NFL debut, pretty crazy.
And the other quarterback I'd throw in there just slightly behind him would be Goff.
Yeah,
and I think Purdy's going to sling it a lot.
Yeah, I can definitely see that against Tampa. So then we'll go to running back. I had Jordan Mason here, but I think, like you said, I think that Christian McCaffrey's going to play, so that's going to probably take Mason out. For the most part, unless McCaffrey re-injures himself. Hopefully he doesn't. But I think Tony Pollard is going to be my other value. Going up against the Jets, Jordan Mason had a career game against them. He had 147 yards rushing, a rushing touchdown for 24.7 fantasy points. And Pollard looked really good against the Bears, who have a really good run defense. He had 16 carries for 82 yards for a 5.1 yards per carry. And he did score a touchdown too. So the Jets defense, the strength of their defense is definitely their secondary. So I think that, Tennessee's going to attack them on the ground. And that means, to me, Tony Pollard should be pretty heavily involved in their offense.
He was the one I was looking at first, and then Connors for Arizona.
Okay. Yeah, James Conner. I know you played him last week. He was in our two-brain lineup, which we did pretty good with our two-brain lineup, too. I wanted to point that out. So hopefully we can do even better this week with that. But, yeah, Tony Pollard and James Conner, I like both those plays. Wide receiver, the obvious play would be Cooper Kupp with Puka Nacua out. Looks like he's going to be out for more than 4 weeks, but at least 4 weeks because he was placed on IR. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, to me, is my top pay-up wide receiver. Had a terrible game against the Rams on Sunday night. And, you just know that he is going to be back with a vengeance on Sunday. He's had really good success last year in 2 games against Tampa. He had 20 catches on 29 targets for 201 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns for an average of 27.6 DraftKings points. So I definitely think Amon-Ra will bounce back in a big way on Sunday against Tampa.
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans, okay, on the flip side of that, yeah.
Same game, and Detroit looked horrible against the pass.
Yeah. They did, and before Nacua went down, they were both having a lot of success, and then Cooper Kupp had a monster day once Nacua went down.
I did one guy to focus on after he went down, and they looked bad. Yeah, they did. The other play I would look at for value is Tyler Johnson. He's 3,300 on DraftKings, so that's almost way too cheap. He's going to be their wide receiver 2 or 3, just depending on between him and Demarcus Robinson. But I think Tyler Johnson has a higher upside. He is going to he got the most targets in the first game between him and Robinson, and I think that'll continue. At least while Nacua is out. So I do think Tyler Johnson's going to be a good play. And I think once he has a big game, which hopefully it'll be this Sunday, then his price is going to go up. And then he's not going to be as good of a play. So I want to jump on him this week. I don't know what his ownership will be, but I don't think he'll be that high owned. There's a lot of good value on this slate. So I don't think he's going to be that high owned. And I do like Stafford against Arizona too. So you compare him and Kupp up with Stafford or play him, naked. It doesn't matter. I just think that Tyler Johnson is a good play as a value for sure this week. What do you think about Alan Lazard this week?
I don't like Alan Lazard. I felt like the Titans really improved their secondary this offseason. They went out and got L'Jarius Sneed, and they improved their safety play, and I think they got another corner too. Who am I missing here? There's Sneed, there's Quandre Diggs, there's Jamal Adams, and then I know who it was. It was Chidobe Awuzie. That's who they got. They picked him up too. So yeah, I think that Alan Lazard is kind of a trap play, and I like the Titans defense actually kind of as a sleeper play.
Yeah, and the one thing I was gonna mention, it's like Rogers went to Lazard like the old what do I do? What do I do? Lazard. I hit Lazard. So
yeah. No, Rodgers definitely goes to the guys he trusts. I mean, that's definitely true about him.
And that bothered me a little bit too. I'm not going to go with Rodgers probably for a while.
Yeah, go to Garrett Wilson. Crying out loud, he's so much more talented.
Yeah. You know? One guy I do like, I don't know, Brian Thomas Jr.
Okay, Brian Thomas Jr. Yeah.
He's not, I don't know how cheap he is, but he's probably a low, high-end, cheap value play, I guess, but I like him. And Thielen.
Okay. Thielen, yeah.
Yeah, there'll be other ones I'll mention.
All right, so let's go ahead and look at tight end. I think Isaiah Likely is going to be the tight end that I'm going to be playing. He got like way more snaps than Mark Andrews did. I know it's just week one, but there's a lot of talent and potential with Isaiah Likely. And he got 12 targets in week one. So he had 9 receptions for 111 yards and a touchdown for 29.1 DraftKings points. I believe he was the top tight end this week in fantasy. And I think he's in a good spot against the Raiders. And so I think Isaiah Likely is going to be my top tight end. And then if you wanted to look at a punt play, if Foster Moreau is out for the Saints, I do think that Jawan Johnson is in play if he's ruled out. But if not, just play Likely. And then if Moreau is ruled out, you can just use him as a punt play if you want. Use Johnson as a punt.
Sure.
And it looks like we're going to get – because FanDuel has added – I don't know if you noticed this, but FanDuel has added the Sunday night game to their main slate now. So looks like we're going to have some value for the Texans with their backup tight end too if Dalton Schultz is out. So that's another option on the FanDuel.
More value. And then you got other cheapos out there too. What's another one? There are a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of injuries, a lot of cheap tight ends are going to be available.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to pay up and tight end and just save the money.
So it would be Brevin Jordan. Who I was thinking of. It would be Brevin Jordan. I'm sorry, it would be Brevin Jordan if Dalton Schultz is ruled out. Then you can look at Brevin Jordan for the Texans.
Yeah, I like Kobe Parkinson. I liked him for the Rams.
For the Rams, yeah, I like that call too. He did. He looked very good. So now we'll go to our lock of the week and our upset of the week. Last week I have, let's see, what did you pick last week? You had Seattle, which they did win. It was a little closer than I think most people thought it was going to be. But they did pull out the win there. And you called a good upset call. You had Pittsburgh over Atlanta. So that one hit. My lock of the week is actually going to be the Chiefs. I just think that without Joe Mixon and Tyler Boyd, and now T. Higgins is banged up, the Bengals they don't look like the same team, and Joe Burrow has really struggled. And as good as New England's defense is, the Chiefs' pass defense is probably just as good, if not better. So, I mean, I think that Burrow is going to really struggle. And the Chiefs have Xavier Worthy now, and they have Hollywood Brown, which I don't know if he's going to play or not, but their offense is looking very tough to deal with. And so, I think the Chiefs are going to roll. And then my upset is going to be the Titans at plus 3.5. I'm not taking them straight up, but I do think they cover at 3.5 against the Jets. So what is your lock of the week and what is your upset this week?
Luckily, it can be Baltimore.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to go with Baltimore, and in fact, I
Or
was going to go with them in the Eliminator Challenge, but they're the highest picked team in the Eliminator, so I went ahead and
oh,
went with the Chiefs. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I mean, to me, that's the obvious one.
Mhm.
Jacksonville would. I don't know what the odds are at Jacksonville. I'll take Jacksonville straight up over Cleveland. Um, I don't see how Washington's gonna. Well, it's interdivisional, so those would be Tiller one. Two picks I would go with. Boy, I are the Packers at home?
Yeah, they are at home.
Okay, well they're gonna lose at home. Um, I had to.
No, I know,
Um,
I get it. Like, I mean, unless Jordan Love somehow plays, which I did see an interview today saying that he was listed as day to day, but that's what Matt LaFleur is saying. But I don't know.
no,
I mean, it's very unlikely to me. So yeah.
I think New Orleans is gonna cover whatever spread Dallas is given.
Okay. I like that. Dallas was given a 6.5. Let's
Oh,
see.
wow,
Dallas is given 6. Yeah.
wow,
Yeah. So
take it.
you like the Saints to cover that. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It
You
might win.
sound pretty
Might.
confident. Yeah. Yeah, you just said
Well,
it.
it's just that Dallas has a great pass rush, and they're going to screen passes and slants on Dallas's defense.
Yeah.
And unlike last week, and Dallas didn't look great. I mean, they don't look good at all.
Mhm.
I mean, they won handily, and that makes me worry even.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
that
I
makes
got you.
sense.
That
Yeah.
makes
Their
sense.
defense won the game, wasn't their offense. And so if the other team
Yeah.
doesn't give the ball away, and I think Cleveland was one of the 2 or 3 worst teams in the NFL.
Yeah, I didn't get to see that game. I was at a meeting, but everything I've heard about it, it sounds like the defense won the game for Dallas.
Yeah. All right. Oh, 2 brains.
What happened to? I can't log into Prizepicks right now. This is weird.
Huh.
Well, I'll go ahead and throw this out there. Josh Allen's line on rushing yards has moved a couple times today, even. So last time I checked, it was at 37.5. I'll take the over. I had it at 38.5 when I made my notes originally. So Josh Allen more than 38.5 rushing yards. I'll take Cooper Kupp more than 59.5 receiving yards, and I'll take Xavier Worthy more than 24.5 receiving yards. Those two are goblin plays, so they are going to pay out a little bit, lesser amount than a normal play would. And then you got another. They're doing this thing all month where they give you a free square with Caleb Williams, so all he needs is more than 0.5 passing yards. So go ahead and take that, obviously, too. So yeah, that will lead us into our two brains lineup. I think you picked. Did you pick the quarterback last week or did I? I can't even remember now.
Yeah, that's it. I do so many lineups, you know that.
Yeah.
And I'm in a lot of leagues, it's hard to remember something. But I'll let you do quarterback this week. I have no problem with
Okay.
that.
All right. So I'm gonna take, and we got about 15 minutes before we need to get out of here and post our NFL for tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, we both like Daniels, so I'll just roll with Jaden Daniels. I'm fine with that.
I like it. All right. Yes, I can actually get into a program now. Daniel's in there.
I think get in.
Just Fanduel. Yep. I'm just literally getting in right now.
They got Allen at 37.5 rushing yards, so yeah, take the more on that.
Oh yes, definitely. Okay, so looking at, I'll go running back here. Looking at the prices here. Wow. Taylor's at 8,200 still.
Who's that?
Okay, so yeah, I know I can do Taylor and do
Oh, Jonathan Taylor.
he's too expensive. I don't like that price.
Okay.
I like this do Pollard for sure.
Pollard. Okay.
Well, you know what? So Pollard and do Connor.
You can do Connor instead.
Yep.
Okay. I'll do Pollard.
I do it. That's fine.
Yeah. Or I could do Dobbins too. I mean, which one do you like better this week?
The one thing about the Jets, they have a really good defensive line, and so I always am nervous. And they're like good linebacker. So the Jets defense is really good. That's one thing that makes me apprehensive about Pollard.
Mm-hmm. Let's just go Dobbins then. That's fine. It'll be a little different. A little different. It's a GPP, so you know.
Oh, I know. I know we'll need Terry McLaurin, wherever he is, for Daniels. So
Terry McLaurin. Okay.
Wherever he's at the price.
He's at 6,000. He's pretty cheap.
Yeah. You think it Daniels didn't look at him that much. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna go with Amon-Ra. I know he's expensive, but I think we got enough value that we can make it work.
Oh yeah. Just look at the prices here. Put my little program here, and then we're good to go.
Who's the guy you mentioned? Oh, Mike Evans. You want to go with Evans?
We could do Evans if you want. What's his price though?
8,000. Godwin 6,200.
I like Godwin's price better.
Yeah, I think Godwin's price is better too.
Instead of McLaren.
Instead of McLaurin.
I got the McLaren already, but I like Naylor. It's too Naylor. He's kind of pricey, but I do like him this week.
5,300.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take Isaiah Likely at tight end.
Yes, he can. I like him a lot.
And then
it's very likable. I'll do defense. Yeah. I'll do defense for you.
Did you say you like the Vikings defense again?
Well, not this week as much. Do Tennessee. You can do flex.
Tennessee. Okay. That leaves us with 9,200.
Yeah.
So
I actually 9,400.
You have 90.
Either way, it's fine.
Let's make sure we have the right team though. So you got Daniels,
Connor,
Dobbins.
Yep, McLaren.
Amon.
Mm-hmm.
And then Naylor.
Yeah, Likely.
And then Chris Godwin, or do you have McLaurin?
I have McLaurin. I not a huge fan of McLaurin. No, we could take him out. Yeah.
So then if we go Godwin, then we have 9,200. Yeah. I mean, 92 and 94, like you said, it doesn't matter because there's no one that's priced in between CeeDee Lamb and Christian McCaffrey. So
it's in a Godwin. Just do Godwin. It's fine. But you get your flex.
Okay.
Yeah, away from sampling. Yeah.
He did fine for us last week, so I'm going to go with Jefferson again.
Yeah. And you get tired at the end of those games.
It was hard not to go with Jefferson when you have the salary for it.
It is. And then just swap out Naylor, and I'll put in Brandon Cook.
Oh, you're taking Naylor out?
Well, yeah, if we got Jefferson, I don't want to dump down Minnesota. We put Brandon Cooks in there.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I mean, I know we did that last week, though. We did Evans and Godwin. But that's fine.
Right. Don't like because the games don't correlate together. That's why I do that.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
If we had San Fran there, that'd be great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so we got Jaden Daniels, James Conner, J.K. Dobbins, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Brandon Cooks, Chris Godwin, Isaiah Likely, Justin Jefferson, and the Titans defense.
Cool.
That's what I have. All right, cool. Well, let's check the chat before we get out of here. Don't see anything in the chat. Well, we've got we do have our baseball podcast going tomorrow, right, Doug? We're doing that tomorrow?
Yes, absolutely.
Did we decide on a time for that? We probably should do that real quick.
No, I'm not deciding time yet.
Okay. I'll let you know. I'll look at my calendar. I'll let you know what I have available, but that won't be any issue. So that is going to do it for our week 2 podcast. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. We will be posting for our members. We will be posting our NFL lineups for Thursday night football here in about 8 minutes. So hope everybody has an awesome night. Let's absolutely crush week 2. And we'll be back again next week as we look to crush it in NFL, DFS, and Prize Picks. Have a great night.